Hello, and welcome back, my good students, to our War on the Sea Let's Play series as the Japanese Navy. I'm the Edified Gamer, and we are coming straight back in from our previous video. We are late into the evening of the 30th of May 1942, day 173 of this long campaign. And rather than making advancements, we are taking back some of our home territory over here. We are on the way to re-invading Iwo Jima. That should be absolutely fine how it stands, but we will need to reinforce that to counter any possible future invasions. And I think that will be the task of, minor resupply task force, or even one of the invasion task forces over here would be the better option, actually. We are going to get resupplied in 2 days' time, I believe, and that is absolutely needed because our troops are 608 on Kure and we have 1,020 supplies on Kure. We're doing very well for engineering and fuel. We do have our engineering task force down here, which will not take too long. It will take 15.7 hours to get there. We'll need to wait to have a few supply ships waiting out here at the moment, just waiting to get restocked over here. So there's quite the queue, but it will happen. We do also need to restock Sasebo's engineering and fuel now to replace the aircraft we lost previously, so that we can draw on those in future emergencies. And I think we're going to have to do the same on Okinawa as well here. Yeah, that does need some more fuel. So that'll be the job of engineering task force to reinforce those, maybe even our Formosa bases as well. We are actually sending our minor resupply task force out with 2,000 supplies and 130 fuel. That's all we could carry on that over to truck, with the hopes of bringing these supplies up for a good defense for our troops and to build some more foundations for upgrading the airfield to level 3 there. We have a massive amount of engineering there, and we do have a fair bit of fuel as well. So dumping those supplies on should be enough to help us get to a level 3 airfield there, no problem. What situations are we in though? That's the thing. What is the question? Well, we've taken Cebu, which has opened up Manila and Tawi and maybe even Brunei, looking at that for future invasions. Very close invasions indeed. What we're going to want to do first though is cycle around our transport ships a couple times so that we can get some decent troops and supplies to shore up our existing defences. You can see we have a lot of troops in the area, but they're not backed up by any decent supplies at all on any of our Philippines bases, and that is going to be the job for our cargo ships immediately. Otherwise, we're in a pretty decent position. We are just waiting for, well, we're at the mercy now of any ships that we do spot in the near future. So that's what we're waiting for today. Reinforce, resupply, and respot. Let's get going to see what we can do today. At 0600 hours the following morning, a scouting Jake south of Iwo Jima has spotted an American battle task force. This is headed by a Tennessee Standard class battleship and escorted by 2 American light cruisers, namely an Atlanta and a Cleveland. As well as the usual smattering of destroyers, this task force is actually quite the threat to us. However, we do have Musashi very close indeed, supported by some carriers. So we are going to have to move in very quickly to deal with this. Well, on the retreat from Singapore, we have finally been intercepted by some enemy fighters. We have spotted so far 9 Corsairs. They are armed with rockets. It doesn't appear to be Tiny Tims, luckily enough, but they will still cause some rather nasty damage. They are diving down to hit one of our ships by the looks of it. In fact, what we should do is smoke up already, but we are launching out some Zeros from our Zuiho to help out with that, of course. We have given them attack orders already, which is very nice indeed. We do have a fairly decent formation to protect our main assets in this fleet, and that's just as well really, because we are running out of shells on our main guns, aren't we? Not that they could fire out the largest amount of flak, but it is something to think about. We shouldn't be seeing any surface fleets in the area around Singapore. We have scouted out properly for that. We are downing aircraft very quickly here, which is absolutely brilliant. We do have the numbers advantage, which is rather surprising. The Singapore base is now at a level 4 airfield. I would expect more than 9 Corsairs out here, but not to worry at all. This is certainly can't complain with only 9 fighters here. So if they do launch out any attack aircraft in the near future, the remaining Zeros will be able to deal with that fairly handily. We have shot down pretty much all of their aircraft now, which is absolutely brilliant. So a very minor skirmish here, but this is about as good as the news gets at the moment. There's nothing really spotted just yet. It is only the turn of the next day, so we do only just have our radar coverage once again. But I'm hoping it's going to be a very quiet day. Well, the day today might be quite quiet, but we're going to have quite the problem in the future. Just outside of Midway, our submarines have spotted yet another battle force. This is headed by a Queen Elizabeth class battleship. We have double checked exactly how many there are left in this series, and it does appear to be 2 remaining. However, this task force will take quite a long time to get to the operational theatre, so we don't have to worry just yet. So we'll keep an eye on this in the future. Okay, so just a very minor update for you guys. We've just respotted the Tennessee group south of Iwo Jima over here. And that makes me really wonder what the hell this is over here. We haven't scouted it out properly because you can see we're right on top of it with our Musashi task force. If it really is just a group of cruisers, this should be a very easy walkover with the Congo and Musashi battleships over here and our couple of heavy cruisers, as well as the Ryuja, of course. So we're going to try and chase that down while we have real sight. I am avoiding really scouting that out on the tactical maps so that they don't have that grace period. We do lose real sight of them. So we're going to try and chase that down. We might be in for a bit of a surface engagement today. I will keep you updated on that. You can see they are sending out some scouts of their own without any fighters and such. So that does suggest it is only a surface group without an aircraft carrier, which is good for us. So let's try and chase that down and hope we're quick enough to get there. Otherwise we will be launching, I think, some aircraft to hit that otherwise. Well guys, we have sighted the motherlode today. A very lucky spot indeed. We launched out our Kates expecting this to be a heavy cruiser battle force, but if we look over towards the enemy group, it does look like a large force, doesn't it? But it's an invasion task force. So this has a county, an Atlanta, and some destroyers, of course. We also have a Java, I believe this is, on first glance. We can re-identify that properly in a second. What do we have over here? Look like a light cruiser. Here we go. We have, is this the Danae, I would imagine? Let's double check that. It is a British ship. Where are we? Light cruiser. That's not the Danae. What would that be? What should I call you? Okay, so we'll double check that. Very interesting indeed. It does have the 3 funnels there. The Danae does not. We have, of course, sunk one already, so we should know what that looks like. We're going to have to go through that. That's very interesting indeed, because it's not... oh, it's an Adelaide. Ah, there we go. That's making much more sense now. Okay, so we're going to take the time to identify everything, like so, and we're going to start firing out. So we do have some firing orders going. We're going to start holding off with our battleships to begin with, and we're going to have to give chase here. You can see we are on their flank. They are going to start moving away from us. So I imagine their cruisers and destroyers will turn around to engage a tad. We'll wait to see what they do. Try and damage the Atlanta before we send in our Kates, I think. And then we can send the Kates in, really, to actually destroy their cargo ships before they do escape. Those are really the primary importance here, although we are focusing with our surface ships, mostly the Atlanta with our battleships, the County with our heavy cruisers, and we're going to destroy the Clemson Wicks with our destroyers. We do have an Isuzu, we have a Kuma class going for the Java over here to get some opening shots onto that. We're actually just out of range with our destroyers at the moment, but not to worry. How are we looking at the moment with our Musashi? We should be firing out. That's a 99 solution there. Let's just fire one shot like that. We can hold off again. How are we looking with Kirishima? Let's try and get a manual shot off. This is quite the large distance, but they are going very slowly. It appears they're turning, so we are going to fire out quite the way there. Are they increasing their speed? They're only going 9 knots. It is increasing to 10 there. Let's fire out there. Looks like they're concentrating their fire with the County already. That should be the only ship within range of us at the moment, or having range on us. We are getting some glancing shots there. We are going to have to move to get all of our guns firing though. To keep our Kates in position as well, we are just going to form up on the number 1 there and just make a very large box, just to make it easy to maneuver those around. It will keep those in the area, I think. Like so. We could just slow their speed as well to keep them like that. We'll check in on them later. How are we looking over here? Shell travel time will be absolutely huge at this distance with our ships. We are roughly 20 kilometers away from the enemy. Let's get another shot out. Let's try for another manual here. It is going at nearly 30 knots though. We're going to have to give this a lot of lead. Let's try and get about here-ish. How are we looking with the Kirishima? 99 solution again. Let's go for some more spotting fire there. Hold out there. Yeah, they are certainly focusing us down here, and that will be a problem because the Kirishima does not have the greatest armor, of course. Just need to see how we're doing with that, really. Okay, so we've managed to actually lose sight on those ships we're meant to be firing at. So we are going to bring in our Jake a little closer. If we do try and take reports, we can see that the Atlanta is in critical to heavy flooding on that ship, which is brilliant. The County only taking minor damage so far, though. Our Kirishima is also taking minor damage, and that is something we need to worry about. Where is this in the formation? It's over here. Is taking some minor flooding. Nothing we can't handle just yet. We do need to silence the county's guns because that will be what's penetrating it. It looks though like it's pretty much dead in the water, but once again we can't sight it on the map, so we are going to have to deal with that. We do have some manual shots out for us at the moment, but if it does pick up speed, it's going to be a problem. They are going to miss. That's going to be a complete waste of firepower there. Once we remove these two larger ships over here, we can start zooming ahead with our own destroyers and such. It looks like we've got some glancing hits actually onto this particular ship, which is very interesting indeed. Those must have been aimed for the county and overshot quite a bit. So we can see the county now. Let's re-aim our manual shots over here, shall we? That is going to a speed of 19 knots, which is rather quick for this distance. If we move out, I think roughly here-ish with that, and if we take hold of Kumano over here, just hold out there. A little too late, so we have to wait a second. Wait on the reload there to get a better timing out, I think. I think roughly this sort of lead should be okay there, maybe a tad more actually. It is turning rather heavily as well, so we need to move up, I think, like so. And do we have sight on the Atlanta? Yes, we do. So let's realign our Musashi's guns. It has been holding fire, which is good. It means it hasn't been wasting shots. But that is pretty much dead in the water now. So we're aiming a little ahead of it because it is going at 4 knots. It is still moving. We'll do the same over here with Kirishima. Just aim a little behind there to adjust for any movement changes there. Looks like we're getting close over here with some shots, which is rather interesting. Means I'm not aiming too badly. Just need to keep re-aiming though with manual. It's a key asset. You're not getting too far at all. Just need some direct hits. It is slowing down a tad. Get back onto Kumano. And have a look over here so we can keep track of the fire we're launching out. About there should do. We're looking with that Atlanta. Looks like its guns are pretty much inactive. It's just these two at the front of the ship which are active. And okay, we've got a couple on the rear as well. Not to worry. Not to worry. We are still getting some hits here and there. Looks to be the case on the county as well. How are our Kates looking? We need to start bringing those in soon, I think. So we can start firing on all of this. I think using the Kirishima's speed, it should have a top speed of around 30 knots. It certainly does. What we're going to do is take Sugamo, Kirishima and Oyashio to form a line ahead, I think. Like that. And the Sugamo can certainly lead at 30 knots. Move up very, very close indeed. You can see we are closing the distance here. Should be firing out really with these ships onto the destroyer. Think it is ignoring that because we did have to shoot down some planes earlier and we didn't take off also fire flak. But not to worry, we can certainly start doing that now. And actually the Atlanta is sinking, which frees up our battleship shells to help out with that county. So let's get some firing orders there. We'll hold out at the minute and get some spotting fire off with our secondaries. The Kirishima can certainly do the same there. And with Commando, that does actually have a very high solution, so we're going to start doing auto fire with that, and I think the same with Takao over here. That is going fairly slowly at 15 knots. It's not quite slow enough at the distance we're at. We're going to bring in the Pete as well, just to help with the spotting. And the Kates can certainly start moving a little closer there as well. Won't start diving them just yet. Let's have a look. Sugamo, we need these to be realigned there. To make sure that formation is proper. Just realign that properly there so we don't need to piss around with our formation too much. And I think we might actually want to get the Kumano, Isuzu and Takanami to get us on a line ahead as well. We'll just sort this out properly so that they don't have to worry too much about their formation either. Let's get that around. It's not obeying my commands. There we go. Lovely stuff. And they can go at max speed and catch up as well to really start focusing the other ships there. We are losing sight. We did lose the Jake, which is why we need to bring up the Peace, of course. Let's have a look at this county. It is on minor damage. We've actually hit the Netherlands transport ship more times than the county by the looks of it, which is a little embarrassing. How are we looking with our Musashi though? We should be aligned with our guns now. Let's get one normal spotting fire out. Then we can hold off with that. Where is Kirishima? It's over here now. It's still taking some fire. It is the counter we need to silence over here. And that's going... I've just lost sight of it there. It's rather unlucky. Should start firing out on this Clemson now that we are in range with our destroyers. Just resighted the Atlanta. Let's get the piece in a little more directly there, I think. It will increase its speed. Okay, so we have started to get that county very much down. It is idle, it is dead in the water. We have moved our heavy cruisers on to fire at the number 9 Clemson and Wicks, but we are now moving in our Kates. We are going to send them in groups of 4. One group for the Harris over here, one for the Haskell, one for each of these light cruisers over here as well, because we're getting rather greedy and just assuming we're certainly going to hit all of these ships exactly as we want. Because of course that's always what happens, especially now that the Atlanta's down and the Clemson and Wickses are of course preoccupied. The county should be going down fairly soon. Do have a few mangled shots coming out now from the battleships. You can see the shells landing there, just troubling again with the straddling fire there. but it is dead in the water, so it should be a fairly easy hit. How are we looking on this Clemson Wicks? It has taken some fire from our destroyers. We are, of course, lining up with this group over here, the 6, 8 and 10, to really rush them down. And we are just going individually with Takao and Musashi now. They can go at their own speeds to really rush in and deal with the enemy there, I think. We are going to pull out with Ryujo, and Shinonome is going to come around as well, just to avoid collisions. That's why it's the flank. Don't want anything bad like that happening there, shall we? So how are we looking over here? Not too bad at all. Once we destroy the cargo ships, we will disengage. No need to really press anything more. I think the county will be scuttled anyway at the end of this battle. So that's not bad at all. Not really guessing any decent hits out onto this Clemson at the moment. How are we looking for solutions? Let's take them off of spotting now, because we do have a very nice solution with Takao. And our Kumano over here is not looking bad either. But how are we looking? We haven't actually given attack orders, only movement orders. So let's get on that, because now is the time to strike. We are going to increase our speeds now. Still torpedo friendly speeds, but still quick enough so that we don't have to worry too much about enemy AA fire. Just get them at fairly moderate speeds there, so we can catch up fairly nicely with the enemy ships. The Adelaide is manoeuvring differently. Is that going to turn to starboard even more? That's going to make things difficult. This group of Kates will have to stick around, I think, as reserve. But the county is sinking. Let's just double check on these Kates first. Let's prioritise these, I think. The Java, we can go and attack that. I think we just tell this group to attack the Haskell. And we're not so bad on the Harris either. That's not looking bad at all. Is this group going to drop in time with a decent lead? It is dropping, so that's not bad. Let's increase their speed and altitude then to get them out of there. Now it's not looking too bad at all, actually. But we are going to have to focus on this Harris. We have given the attack order, of course. Adelaide's still not too sure what it wants to do there. Are we going to get many hits? Just the one over here. We've lost. Did we lose the lead plane on this attack? Did they drop? They have dropped, so it doesn't matter so much. Let's see what that's doing then. How was the line looking? Not too bad at all. These Kates are moving out, of course, so we just need to watch the Harris. We did give orders for the Haskell there. That's not looking bad at all. That should be an easy going down. But did get hit by a single dud, actually. Rather interesting. Did we lose all of the approaching Kates for this group, actually? That's not good. So we might actually use our reserve Kates over here to go for the Haskell as well, depending on what that gets hit by. It is just, well, it is 2. If we take a report on that, that is heavy to heavy. I think I'm still tempted to go for the Java here, actually. Still very tempted to go for the Java. Let's get a lead on that and target it for now. See how that flood develops over here on the Haskell. With the Harris sinking, that is brilliant. That's less AA fire for us to worry about. Small transports over here. I didn't take a proper report. That's critical to heavy. That might well get scuttled. Might stick around to get some more fire on that, though. In fact, what we could do is very quickly go for our Musashi and just get some very quick orders out onto that, I think, with our secondaries. I'll do the same with Kirishima as well. Not a bad idea, I don't think, there. Very, very nice indeed. Thank you very much. So how are we looking on this Haskell? Downing the County and the Atlanta, as well as another cargo ship over here, should be enough to force these guys to retreat. I think if we do get the Java, that would be nice as well. And that should absolutely force them to retreat. So we're going to turn in here, try and get a decent broadside on. And that should be fine. So we're going to turn in a little more and tell them to attack the Java from here, I think. I'm not so worried. Clemson Wicks is going down. That's excellent. Our heavy cruisers did manage to sort that out fairly easily. This is a very nice little battle here. Miyamaso Musashi would be proud. The two heavens one style approach, you could call it. Very, very nice indeed. And Miyamaso Musashi is going to be the name of our flagship here, of course. This is not a very nice lead, I don't think. That might well miss. Probably should have sorted that out, but I think that would have been a last second thing. So So one torpedo would be nice at least at that lead. That's looking like it could be possible. Gonna get it on the bow? We are indeed. That is brilliant. Is the first one gonna? Yeah, it's just gonna pass over like that. Not to worry there. So how's that looking? That has been struck by a couple actually. That's not bad. Did it get struck by one before? So it has been struck by 3 in total. If we take a report on the Java, where is it? It's heavy to heavy. We'll let that develop. We have sunk the small transport ship with our secondaries from our battleships. So, it is only this Haskell left. We did lose a lot of Kates unfortunately, but not to worry, we're going to go back and resupply after this battle anyway. Let's get out some more secondaries over onto this Haskell, shall we? If we get our heavy cruisers onto that as well. If we fire, we're not targeting it, there we go, that might help if you targeted the ship, you fool. And yeah, we'll get our heavy cruisers on there as well. That'd be very nice indeed. It gets all of our secondaries going as well. Finish that off and disengage, I think, is the order of business now. See how the flooding develops on the Java, but it's okay if it does go home. Our destroyer's not doing great against this Clemson, but not to worry really. It's not a major concern. It is a shame we couldn't hit the Adelaide. But if we're patient, we could wipe this out, absolutely. But I think we're going to start running very low on ammunition. In fact, let's take a look. We're okay on HE at the moment. Do have 90 HE shells. The Musashi should have a lot of AP left. How does the Kirishima look, actually? Yeah, it is running very, very low, actually. Look at that. 20 HE shells and 94 AP. Not great. But we're still going to fire out. This is... I should have done bloody manual fire, but not to worry. Do that with the Musashi. There we go. Give us a 6-gun salute there. There we go, absolutely brilliant. That should be going down fairly soon. It is just waiting on the flooding. Should just encourage that with our secondaries and such there. Just wait for the large caliber guns to splash in. Look at that rain of fire down coming in. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, some splash will do it, and there we go. That should be it going down. That is the Haskell sinking, and I think we're going to disengage. I don't think this Java is going to go down. We will race around a little bit as we give ourselves time to disengage properly. Otherwise, very nice. Our Sugamo did take some damage. It's actually on fire at the moment. Going to take this off and go for the fires, I think. So let's get out and disengage. There we go, very nice little surface engagement, a very nice surprise surface engagement actually. It's nice to see that the Musashi task force has got some real action. We've placed them rather well, if I may say so myself, but that does mean we now have to avoid the Tennessee task force incoming while we go back to Kure to rearm. So let's do that, shall we, right now. Let's give them the orders to do so. Go through the Bonin Islands, go straight back. We are still waiting, of course, to get resupplied over here, but that is all I have time for today, I'm afraid, guys. Rather quick episode once again today, probably the shortest yet. So if we go back, we'll have to look at that. That's all we do have time for, I'm afraid. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the video, nonetheless. Please do leave your feedback in the section below. I shall see you in the future. I've been the Edified Gamer, and I hope all of your nights and days are auspicious. Goodbye.